a little testimony, you know. I believe I will testify. So let's talk about it, okay? Hey friend, it's your girl Kirky, and this is Fit for Christ coming to you with, we're going to talk about today how I went from here to here to here. All right. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Demetrius, better known as Kirky, and I am a personal trainer. And I have been for over 7 years, but I've been in the health industry in some aspect for longer than that. But nevertheless, so we're going to talk about being fit basically first. So as a personal trainer, I was always in the gym, working out, lifting weights, doing what I need to do, eating fairly well, you know. I wasn't really gaining weight. I was very maintaining myself, which is what I really wanted to do. I was about 170. And so sometimes I wanted to be 150, but then I realized that I was going to be like a stick figure. And I didn't want that. And I enjoyed lifting weights. And I knew that with muscle, it's going to weigh more than fat. So I'd rather have the muscle than to look like a stick figure. But nevertheless, what happened was your girl was working like 3 jobs. And yeah, I ended up becoming really dependent on caffeine, sugar. Also in this time frame, I went back to school for physical therapy, so you can only imagine the stress that I was under. It got real. It started in the pandemic time, right? So 2020, probably in 2019, it's really kind of started to make its head a little bit because I was working 3 jobs. So one of the jobs was overnight at a warehouse. And then the other jobs were during the week, but I was training and being a manager, and then I was also working in a clinic. And so, you know, just juggling all that, I gotta make sure I'm studying, make sure I'm staying awake doing these night jobs and stuff. To 2020, of course, the pandemic hit, and then I'm at home by myself, and so I became a bit of oppression. Yes, I said oppression. Everything else you could think of that's a negative emotion, I probably dealt with it. Loneliness because I was here by myself. Don't have any kids. I'm not married. So, and I wasn't dating anybody at the time. So it wasn't like I had somebody that would be like, just come over, you know. No, we're gonna edit that out. But yeah, so in this time, yeah, I was addicted to caffeine and sugar. And it had your girl down bad, right? I would work out and then go get a Pepsi. That was how I rewarded myself. And I'm going to tell you right now, do not ever, ever, ever reward yourself with food or any kind of beverage, because no. Reward yourself with a trip, you know, some type of experience, you know, going to see a show or go see a play, whatever it is. Spend your money on that, because no, don't do what I did. And don't do what you previously did, because I'm sure some of y'all were like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to do good and I'm going to go get me some Mexican. Nevertheless, so that's what happened. And so while I was working out, like I said, I was working out and rewarding myself with my drug of choice was Pepsi. And so I would go to the gas station, which is literally around the corner, and give me a Pepsi. And they had the coldest ones too. So, I mean, why not? And at the time, they were already $2. So I was literally spending $2 on 20 ounces. But before Dollar Tree became $1.25, they had dollar Pepsis, which was 16 ounces. So I'll give about 2 or 3 of them. If not there, then at the Dollar General, the 16 ounces. So I would get at least 3, and I would drink one in the car. And then on the way home, when I got home, I would put them in the refrigerator, drink one, and then the other one was for later, right? So vicious cycle. It just continued like that. Like I would have at least 3 to 5 a day. Like bad. You had your girl down bad, okay? So over this time, I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew I was getting a little chunky, you know, my clothes wasn't fitting too good. But it wasn't until I hopped on the scale, I had to go to the doctor because I was developing health issues. I wasn't using the bathroom properly. And I have always been regular, but I would be like 3 or 4 days, like, something's got to give. Why am I not using the bathroom? And it didn't even dawn on me because I was so stuck into my routine of going to get my Pepsi. On the other things I was doing. So in this time too, I was studying for my boys. I was still in school. So it was just a lot that I was dealing with in that time frame in 2020. And so, so I remember one day, so while I was at the doctor, they said, your girl was 210 pounds. 210 pounds? Say what? Like, who, me? What he was? Like, nah. You know, and that was like a little slap in the face. Like, girl, how you 210 pounds? You was just 170. Like, where they do that? And so, yeah, it was bad. It had you go down bad. And so, that was one of the awakening moments. And so I knew that I was addicted to Pepsi, and I knew I was like, girl, you gotta stop. You know, I had to tell you so you gotta stop doing XYZ, but you know you still gonna do it because you're not at that point that you're really ready for change. Well, I did a workout one night and I was on the floor laying on my stomach. I can't really remember exactly what exercise I was doing, but nevertheless, I was on my stomach, and then I literally started bawling because I was like, I knew at that moment that I was like, I want a Pepsi. But then I started crying out to God that, you know, I needed him to help me because why do I need to go get a Pepsi? Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling these strong desires to get a Pepsi after I worked out? And I knew that I had to change because I just heard news from the doctor. Basically, you know, I was trying to make it seem, you know, that I wasn't doing nothing. Like, how's your diet? Oh, it's good. No one good while I'm addicted to Pepsi. And he would have said, well, ma'am, you need to start drinking more water, you know. And I ain't want no water. Who want to drink water? But, yeah. But nevertheless, I knew at that particular moment on that floor that day that I needed to change, right? And so a lot of prayer, a lot of seeking God, a lot of things that I didn't really want to do because I was at this point where I was so addicted that I couldn't even walk past the little refrigerator in any store without getting one or three. It was bad. And so the first step that I did, I admitted that I had a problem. You know, we think about, when you say addiction, we think about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and the first step is always admitting. So I knew that I had to admit that I had a problem. Like, if you don't admit you have a problem, you will not receive help and you will not go get help. And I had to admit, because I knew I needed help, because I had gotten so far with my weight, with my health issues. Like, I knew that if I continued down this road, I was definitely going to destroy myself. And then even as a health professional, I went from helping all these people to now, ain't nobody finna come look to me for help. Like, girl, you need to get yourself together before you try to help somebody else. And you know how the enemy do. But for real, I did. So I remember it was April 2021, and I was like, you know, I knew that I was already working out, but I was like, let's do some fitness challenges so that, you know, if I have to stick to a regimen and have to do more to help other people, then I knew that I could do that. So I kind of, in my mind, it was like, well, I'm helping both of us. You know, I'm helping you reach your goals, but also I'm helping myself stay accountable. And I still had Pepsis, but they weren't as bad as I was doing, right? So I would say as of January 2022, I have not had a Pepsi. We're 9 months. That's 9 months ago. I can walk by a refrigerator without like feeding for it. I am over 30 pounds down. I don't look like a chipmunk anymore. Glory be to God. He has graced me to tell the story, right? Because I didn't think at that moment. I knew that I could do it, but I didn't think that, you know, you think you can do something, but then when it really happened, you be like, whoo, child, let me tell you. So I'm like that, whoo, child, let me tell you, because listen, Your girl was struggling, Iki. Um, whew, but I just want to tell you, like I said, 30 pounds lighter. There is hope, right? There is hope that you can do that. So that is how I went from fit to fat to fit again. I am free, and that's the thing about it, is like being free. Free from addiction, free from what had bound you. Just like Jesus died that we may be free. So because he died and he rose again, we are free. Because of his blood, we are free. Because he died and rose again, we are free. You choose the bondage, right? I was choosing the bondage because I was spending the money. This will tell you how much money I spent on the Pepsi. I mean, I don't even want to think about it. You don't have to choose bondage. You don't have to be shackled. You don't have to be chained up. But you can choose freedom this day. As I did that day, you can do it too. Your life can change. The trajectory of your life can change by the decisions that you make today. I encourage you to make those decisions today. Get my ebook that I wrote specifically to help you overcome, to help you become free from addiction, whether it's sugar, caffeine, or even food. Right? I don't really think about addiction like that, but it happened. It happened to me. It can happen to anybody, right? But I want you to get the ebook to help you, and if not help you, to help someone else, because you never know what these people going through. I suffered in silence with nobody knowing, but I'm pretty sure they knew I gained weight, but didn't say nothing. But then again, they may not, because it was a whole pandemic. We was on the lockdown, okay? But nevertheless, you can live to tell the story, just as I live to tell the story. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony, right? So I'm testifying so that you know that you can overcome. So let's be overcomers and buy my ebook. So if this helped you, comment below, like, share, subscribe, and let's become better, healthier, wiser, and wealthier. I'm gonna throw that out there. In this year and in the years to come, because why not? All right. Love you all. Kirky out. Okay, bye.